Hi everyone, welcome to the block preview for the Simply Strong initial block. Some things to point out is that this program is designed for people that have a minimal training setup, so people that have power rack, bench, barbell, and weights, and that's basically the extent of their equipment. So if you're in that category, or if you just want to keep things really simple, then this is a great program for you. The program uses predominantly ramping sets on the primary movements, which means you do a set of 5 at a prescribed RPE, and then the RPE is going to increase, and you're going to do another set of 5 and then increase again, and you're going to do another set of 5. So if we look at the screen, look at workout 1, you can see in the squat, we got 1 set of 5 at RPE 5, 1 set of 5 at RPE 6, then 1 set of 5 at RPE 7. So that would be ramping up 3 ramping sets. With bench, we have the same structure, but we just have an additional back off set. So typically with bench press, because it's a shorter stroke and a shorter range of motion, we can get away with a little bit more volume on bench press. So that's something you're going to see across the board with almost all of the blocks available in the Desert Barbell Training App Store. Then you can see bent over barbell row is the assistance exercise of choice for this block. If we continue down, you see in deadlift, we got the same structure as the squat, a set of 5, set of 6, set of 7. Shoulder press, we got set of 5, set of 6, set of 7, and then a back off set at 73%. We got rear foot elevated split squats for the lower body accessory. If you don't have access to dumbbells or kettlebells, then the best way to add load to this, if you need to, is just going to be to hold a weight plate in front of you. So that would be an option. Or you can just work on this movement with body weight and focus on control and increasing the amount of control that you have throughout the weeks. Or if you're able to, maybe week 1 you start with body weight, week 2 you add weight, and so forth. What we're looking for really is progression across the board, but this is a movement where quality is kind of our main focus. So moving down, secondary squat, we have 2 count pause squat. And this uses a different protocol called load drops. So you're going to do a set of 4 at RPE 7.5, and then we're reducing the load a little bit, not too much, but we're reducing the load for 3 sets of 4. Next exercise we have there is bench, 3 count pause bench. Again, we got a top set of 4, that's the indicator set, and then 3 sets of 4 at 78%, where we're going to recalculate the back off percentage so that we're working with a weight that is challenging to us, but we're able to repeat it for multiple sets. The target RPE range for these back off sets is somewhere between 7 and 8.5, maybe even 6 and 8.5. We don't want them to be above an 8.5 for our back off work. And then the assistance movement on this day is pull-ups. Last workout then we have RDLs, 1 set of 8 at RPE 7.5, and then 3 sets of 8 at 65%, followed by close grip bench, and then barbell good mornings. You can see with the close grip bench, we have load drop, so top set and then drop the load, but we also have a rep change. So the top set is 6 reps, and then the back off sets are 8 reps. So just pay attention to the rep ranges because they're not always the same in every protocol that we use. Now, if we look at progression throughout the block, so if we scroll across to and look at week 2, you can see that the RPE has increased by 1 across the board. So we should be able to use some heavier loads for this. And you can see a couple of set increases. So the squat now has a back off set. The bench now has 2 back off sets. Barbell row has increased by 1 set. Deadlift has stayed the same, but increased in terms of RPE. Shoulder press has increased RPE and increased a back off set, and this split squats has increased by a set too. Keep going down, we've got the squat is the same with 1 set of 4, 3 sets of 4, but the RPE has increased and the back off percentage has increased a little bit. On the 3 count pause bench, we've got the increase of a half on the RPE, and also an additional back off set. And then with the pull-ups, we've got one additional set of pull-ups. Looking at workout 4, we've got RDLs. We've kept the RPE the same, and the back off percentage is just increased slightly. But with the RDLs, we don't want to push too far above like an RPE 7.5, RPE 8, at least in this block, just because we're trying to keep the focus on like training the hamstrings and glutes, stressing those muscles, but not pushing things too hard. Remember, this is an initial block, so we're trying to build a good foundation before moving into something a little bit heavier, lower rep, which we call like our ultimate blocks. Looking at close grip bench, then we've increased by half an RPE and increased a set. And then what you'll notice is that most of those progression changes have remained the same as the block goes on. So your half an RPE increase on most things, again, not the RDLs, not the back off sets, and a couple of small changes, but basically a very similar week or microcycle to the previous week. And then if you continue on to week 4, this would be kind of our main peak week before we go into a bridge block. So with this, we have an increase in RPE to like a fairly intense kind of set of 5 at RPE 9, which is pretty close to failure. You've got that across the primary movements, but if you notice on deadlift, we've removed a set. So it's just a set at 7 and then a set at 9, just because we find in general, deadlifts tends to be very fatiguing, and it might be very tough to do a set of RPE 9 after a true set of RPE 8. So we just removed that set of RPE 8. And that is how the Simply Strong initial block progresses. Your choice when you finish this block, obviously definitely follow one of the bridge blocks to allow to recover and resensitize yourself to training. But when you choose your next block, you could choose one of the other ultimate blocks because they can be mixed, or you could continue along this track and do the Simply Strong ultimate block. Hopefully you found this video helpful. Hopefully you have a good understanding of how you're supposed to do it, and make sure you understand to use all the tools within the app. So you should see on the YouTube channel demonstrations of how to do everything. The most important feature you need to be able to use is the update 1RM function. So make sure you check out that video on how to do that. You need to do that every time you're about to do a percentage-based back off set. You need to make sure that you're calculating the estimated 1RM from the most recent indicator set. The other thing that's very useful is the exercise history tool. So when you click on an exercise or click into an exercise, you're going to see in the top right corner exercise history. If you click there, it's going to show you everything you've done before with that specific lift. Yeah, and that's it from me. Hopefully you have a good time following this block and we get lots of good feedback.